Hi guys, it's me coming to you from my kitchen at 1:13 a.m. to film a cooking video. You know, whenever inspiration strikes, you just gotta roll with it, honestly. The reason that I'm doing this like so late is because I am actually filming a different video tonight where I'm going outside and doing like low light photography shoots with my iPhone. However, there's a storm rolling through right now, so I can't even take pictures of like the sky or anything like that. It's supposed to roll out around 2 or 3 a.m. so I'm just kind of killing time until then. So in this video, I'm going to be following a recipe from a vintage cookbook. So the cookbook that I found was the Betty Crocker International Cookbook, and the publication date of this was 1980s, so technically it is vintage because it is less than 100 years old but greater than 20 years old, so no one clock me on that, please.
I'm fragile.
One of the things that I immediately found when flipping through this recipe book was that literally nothing in here is vegan. At the time, you know, the late 70s, early 80s, the veganism movement really didn't take off. So in most cookbooks nowadays, you'll see easy substitutions you can make or entirely vegetarian based sections, but obviously it was the 1980s. Veganism hadn't really taken off yet, and so publishers didn't have to appeal to that demographic yet. It was a little bit of a challenge finding something that was vegan, but I want to follow a recipe in its entirely without any modification. It took me flipping through 197 pages to find something completely free of animal products, and that is the savory lentils, which sounds so boring in this big book of international foods. This recipe is fairly simple, which is perfect because it's 1 in the morning. So it needs 3 cups of water. I'm just reading this straight off of here. We don't come here for the production, honestly. Why do you come here, by the way? 3 cups of water, 1 cup of dried lentils or split peas, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1 medium onion finely chopped, 2 cloves of garlic finely chopped, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cardamom, and 2 tablespoons of ghee or vegetable oil, and then lime wedges. Bit of a confession, I went to the store to find the cardamom and it was $11.99 for a jar. It's a spice I had literally never heard of. It's 1/4 teaspoon. It's not gonna make that much of a difference, and I have student loans now, so my days of frivolous spending are long gone. We're just gonna skip the cardamom, and if it's gross, we'll blame it on that decision.
I want to follow a recipe in its entirely without any modifications.
Now I would go through and like measure everything, but it's really simple. It's literally just boiling lentils and chopping an onion. So I'm just gonna go get my water started now because like there's not that much prep work to do. So let's find a pot. I want to try to do some artsy shots, but honestly, it's 1 camera, 1 microphone, 1 light. I don't know how much I want to move around my stuff too much, so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, you know what I mean? How much water? 3 cups. Just filling up my water. You can't see it, but I'm doing it. 1/2. 1 1/2, 2, 2.5, 3. I could have just used a measuring cup, but you know what? Life's too short for that. We are gonna turn you on high heat because I need this to boil. Basically what we're gonna do is heat the water and lentils to a boiling point in a 2-quart saucepan. I'm gonna assume that that pot over there is 2-quart saucepan. Stir in the salt and turmeric, cover and simmer until lentils are tender, about 45 minutes. Cook and stir onion, garlic, cumin, cardamom, and
vegetable oil
until onion is tender. Stir into lentils, cook uncovered over low heat, stirring frequently until consistency of refried beans. Gross. Serve with lime wedges. Do I add my lentils in now? I'm gonna do them now so I don't forget. This doesn't tell me to wash my lentils, but I know that you're supposed to wash your lentils or they turn gummy. How much? 1 cup. Oh my god. Where'd my measuring cup go? Can you tell it's 1 in the morning? I feel like that. If you're cooking lentils, make sure there aren't any like rocks or anything in there. You know the drill, because you know what? We're not about to eat rocks, and we're certainly not about to. Oh my god, the fire.
Stop.
All right, now we stir in the salt and turmeric. I know I'm trying to follow this right, but I don't have time for measuring devices, so I'm just gonna kind of, you know. Looks good to me. What have I done in my life to get me to this point? Next, we're gonna dice an onion. I smell something back there, and it smells good. Oh shoot, I'm a freaking chef. Oh my god. Oh my god, my eyes. Oh my god, I'm crying. Oh my god, my eyes hurt so bad. Oh, this is such a strong onion. Oh, I don't think I've ever cried this much in my life. That's the money shot. Get in focus. let me take some time to tell you some of the other things I noticed about this book that were different than how I see recipes nowadays. The first being the size of the book and the amount of knowledge it presents you. Genuinely, this is a fat book, and based on the research that I could find on the Betty Crocker read books, these were like the holy grail of the kitchen. This cookbook, it doesn't give you a term and not define it. For example, like this whole page is just devoted on telling you how to break down a chicken. You know, a lot of recipes will just be like, okay, click here if you don't know how to do that, or click here if you don't know how to do that. So it's very interesting because, you know, obviously in the 80s, you didn't have the internet. The second thing that I did notice about these recipes, they're definitely a lot more long, and the dishes themselves are kind of meant to be served in more of an elaborate meal style, whereas now a lot of the trends with food that we see are like quick one-course meals, which is totally fine, but I think that it really is interesting and it showcases changes in the household. In the late 70s, early 80s, the primary household model in the United States was, you know, single income houses. The cost of living has risen much faster than wages, so now the majority of houses have 2 or more sources of income. So at that time, you had somebody who could stay at home all day and make these recipes and have these elaborate dinners every day. But now, you know, when we look for recipes, because we're all so busy working, our recipes that we look for now are like fast, easy. So that was a nice little twist for this video, is being able to see how much food and recipes can really showcase about a society. All right, these lentils still have about 32 minutes. I will see you in quite a bit. So, a long period later, it's literally 2:24 in the morning. See that? It's backwards. I finished the recipe. It looks god-awful. Genuinely speaking, this has been like the longest 40 minutes of my entire life. Oh, my timer went off. Genuinely speaking, this recipe was a little bit weird in the cooking. The water, it needed like a lot more than 3 cups of water. I ended up adding a 1.25 cups and added another 1.25 cups just so that my lentils didn't like burn. Also, my lentils were soft after about 30 minutes, not 45. And after adding in the onion and garlic and everything like that, it really only took about 5 or 10 minutes to reach its refried bean consistency. So the cooking time was a little bit off with this. I think I could have diced the onions a little bit smaller, but I think I did a pretty good job. So I have my bowl, I have my lamb wedge. Let's just bone apple teeth. I'm into this. This is actually really good. Wow. Which, like, thank God it's good, because I've literally spent so long in this recipe, and also it made extras, so it's just another protein source for me to use throughout the week. I will say one thing though, I probably should have diced the onions a little bit more. I kind of got a little lazy at the end, so the onions are really making themselves known in this. Scale back to just a half an onion instead of a whole onion. But other than that, this recipe was a success. This video was a success. So thank you so much for watching if you did make it this far in the video. If you did enjoy yourself while you're here, make sure to go down there and leave a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing before you leave. I post new videos here every single Tuesday and Friday, and would love for you to come back. It's been fun hanging out with you this early in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed now. Bye! Where's the off button? Is it on this side? Oh my God, where is it? I hit it all the time.